A horse's heart is a powerhouse of coherence. I asked my little friend ChatGPT about horses and their sensitivities and their gifts. So a horse's heart is about 4 times larger than a human's. It weighs around 8 to 10 pounds. Can you imagine that? It can pump over 10 gallons of blood per minute, making it a literal powerhouse of circulation and vitality. Horses live in what scientists call a coherent heart rhythm much of the time. So they're steady, they're regulated, and calm. This natural coherence entrains humans, often chaotic heart and nervous system, into steadier states when we are near them and in their field. The heart produces the strongest electromagnetic field in the body, stronger than the brain's. I think ours is measurable out to like 8 feet from our body. A horse's electromagnetic field can extend up to 15 to 20 feet around their body, which is like a subtle aura we walk into when we are around them. When humans step into that field, our nervous systems can actually regulate in response, shifting from stress or hyperarousal into balance and calm. Think of it being like tuned, like a tuning fork. Their hearts are literally like tuning forks, which is why I have to assume neurodivergent children and people and autistic kids and kids on the spectrum, super sensitive individuals, really do well working with horses because they are in that field and start to kind of attune to that coherence. Why equine therapy is so potent? They're non-judgmental mirrors. Horses pick up on our inner state instantly, which is exactly what I've experienced over and over. If you're anxious, shut down, or incongruent, they sense it and reflect it in their behavior. They show us ourselves without judgment, just pure mirroring and feedback. They're embodiment teachers, which is what we all need right now to drop into our bodies. You cannot fake it with a horse. They demand authenticity. To connect, you must regulate your breath, calm your energy, and ground into your body and your environment. As far as trauma release, horses can help rewire the nervous system out of fight or flight into rest and repair, which allows these buried emotions to surface and release safely, which again was my experience, and I'll get into that in a second. In short, horses are like giant heart coherence tuning forks. They regulate us, reflect us, and remind us of the natural rhythm of life that we've often forgotten. Also true. Thank you, chat. Okay, so I arrived on the day, and even driving to, and this happens with all healing work. Once you make the intention to go and, do medicine work or work with horses or even just go to your therapist or go to your chiropractor, oftentimes the healing starts before you even get there. So on my way to the horses, grief started coming up, and I was like, oh, this is so interesting. And I observed it and I let it come up. Didn't try to judge it, didn't try to analyze it. Well, I did, but I tried to shut that down very quickly because that's what we do, right? And when I got there, Kate asked me my intention, and I said, it's just, I feel this kind of grief bubbling up. And it's multidimensional. It's grief from my heartache of the past few years and recently, and also I had just received some news about a family member who I deeply care about that was really, really sad. And then there was all sorts of stuff going on in the collective, violent things going on in the collective that really took a toll on everybody the day before. So there was grief coming up, and she was like, well, how do you move energy? And I said, well, normally I move by, singing at the top of my lungs to Luke Combs in my car. Like singing really helps me somatically, like move energy because I'm just tapping into my voice without shame and anyone around to hear me. Although I do sound pretty good, I think, to Luke Combs. But with sadness, I've always had an issue. I don't know how. I'm not like a natural crier. So I was really grateful to be there because it was already starting to move in the horse's presence. And it was so interesting because Kate pointed out that these were horses, new horses to this new owner. So these horses were experiencing, probably grief as well. And they were experiencing being in a new home and a new environment. So obviously that's even just reflective right there of me and my daughter's experience after moving from the fires to a new home. So it started off with a bang. a couple really cool things. I won't go into the whole session, but there was 2 arenas. And the last time that Kate had worked with these horses, it was her only second time. The second arena was covered with weeds. It was overgrown. And when we arrived that day, it was cleared and it was completely open and clean, like pristine. There was an oak tree in the middle. There was this corral in the middle, and it was like up on a higher ground. And kind of immediately after we had entered the main place where the horses were, they all started kind of trotting over to the new arena. So they were like leading me into this next phase, this new chapter. And one of the horses actually stopped on the space between, which is so interesting because I'm co-writing a book literally called Between Selves. And the horse stopped between like the old self and the new self. And so I was just like, oh my God, this is so mystical and so magical, this reflection. So the horses all go into the new arena, except for the baby horse, which was very skittish and it was a mini horse. Sorry, not a baby horse. And this horse, very like nervous, wouldn't come near us, wouldn't come near Kate. All the other horses kind of greeted us and then went into the new arena. The mini horse stayed back, kind of in the back corner eating her food. So Kate encouraged me to take a moment on the bridge between the 2 arenas, and there was like a little creek running under it, and just really tune into what I was leaving behind, what I was ready to let go of, and what I wanted to bring into this new chapter, this new phase, this new arena. So I did that. There was dragonflies flying about, which was very mystically symbolic of, they've been underwater and in the muck and the mud, and now all of a sudden they're these master flyers, and they're mystical creatures. So there's a lot of symbolism there. So that was cool. And as we started talking on the bridge about those things, what I wanted to leave behind, what I was ready to let go of, and what I wanted to intend, I was expressing to Kate how recently I've just been kind of connected to this. My natural essence is to be in awe and magic and wonder and mystical, like the mystery of life. Like that is where I love. Like I love talking with my witches, and I love talking astrology and even astronomy and like the cosmos. I'm just so fascinated by the magic of consciousness and how everything is tied together and nothing is a mistake. And it lights me up when I talk about it. And so I'm just in this like phase of joy playing in the magic, which is why I'm going to talk a little bit about manifestation later. The minute I said those words out loud, little mini horse, little essence of joy, who was really nervous and skittish before, just starts trotting full force at us, like came right to me. So that was like a confirmation, like that is my essence of joy. And now this horse felt alignment and came to me and just like greeted me on the bridge. And it like came right up to me, and then I let it pass into the new arena. It was just so cool. So that reminded me, like, that is my true essence, and that's where I want to stay, and that's where I want to play, and I'm not going to let anybody take me out of that.